So let's make some 3D scribble shapes. So this is literally the idea of making a scribble and turning it three-dimensional by adding kind of just some legs on it. So where are some good endpoints? So here, if I was thinking about looking at it kind of in one-point perspective, this is something that I feel like I've seen a lot of artists do. It's just a really great exercise for considering the shape and starting to think about the three-dimensionality of it. So you can see I'm kind of following the profile of this here. And then, if I'm looking at it three-dimensionally, I can't really see back here, maybe a little bit, but not much. And you can do this with any shapes that you create, right? Big, small, whatever. And then really having to decide, like, where does the boundary of that shape end? It's fun because, there's really not a lot of constraints on this. And you can also make these hollow, right? So maybe I want to have this piece, it's like a cutout, and then how deep does it go? Does it go all the way down and I just leave it like this? Or is it kind of shallow, in which case I would follow the line here, right? And then I would go back and I would add some shading, right? So this, where is my light coming from? So if I imagine my light is coming from here, right, then that means that this area is in shadow, and this would probably be in the darkest shadow. So I want to make that the darkest, this as well over here. I'm going to make this whole thing go all the way down instead of this line. I think that this is a little bit too skinny in relation to that. Now it's going to be darkest over here where the light can't reach, but the light in theory could kind of reach over here, so it's actually going to slowly get a little bit lighter in this area, right? So the idea of like how does the light react on my piece is a good thing to think about as well. So it's going to have, a little more light kind of curving around here, but it'll still be darker over here. And then maybe I'm also thinking about like shadows. So, they don't have to be super fancy, just the idea of like what might a shadow look like on this piece. And you can leave it just like that. You can always play around with cross-hatching. The shadow's going to be darker over here, same kind of idea. So these are making three-dimensional kind of scribble shapes. And I think it's a really great exercise to try once you've gone over kind of cubes. What is your next step? It's a fun, flexible way to play around with 3D drawing.